We're going to be talking about the GRA-SML deal, and Domelevo has been speaking, calling the KPMG's selection, the selection of KPMG, as an illegality, and talking about unprofessional behavior. Let me read the story for you. It's on citinewsroom.com. Now, GRA-SML deal, KPMG selection, an illegality and professional behavior. Domelevo speaking. Now, the former Auditor General, Daniel Yao Domelevo, has criticized the selection of KPMG to audit the contract between the Ghana Revenue Authority and Strategic Mobilization Ghana Limited, describing it as illegal and unprofessional behavior. Now, President Nana Akufo-Addo ordered KPMG to audit the contract between the two entities on January 2nd, 2024. Now, following the submission of the audit report, an April 24 press statement from the presidency said the total fees paid under the contracts from 2018 to date of suspension amounts to 1,061,554,788 Ghana cedis. Now, SML contested and denied that the company was paid that amount. Now, commenting on the contract, its suspension, and the subsequent audit, the former Auditor General intimated that every facet of it smacks of illegality, corruption, and unprofessional behavior. Now, speaking on the big issue on Citi FM and Citi TV, Domelevo told Salom Adonu that ordering KPMG to conduct the audit broke procurement regulations and also had traces of conflict of interest because KPMG has a running contract with the Ghana Revenue Authority and Ministry of Finance. All right, and the story goes on with a quote. Let me begin with Mensa Thompson.
Yes, Kweku.
Yes.
I think this is a very interesting development. I have taken my time to listen to both sides of the conversations, you know, both from the investigation that was done, you know, the issue handed over to KPMG. KPMG came out. We haven't seen the KPMG report yet, but we've seen the subsequent statement issued by the presidency. I've read that statement. We've heard bits and pieces of responses from SML. And there seemed to be a lot of confusion, you know, in the system. Yes, but before I come to the KPMG one, I think it's important that we get to understand really what this whole SML brouhaha is about. You know, petroleum products. When petroleum products come into the country, they are taken into a government storage, mostly by BOST and other entities. Now, government have certain tax components on these petroleum products, which is charged mostly ad valorem of the value of a liter of the product. Now, that is sent to, you know, a warehouse, or we'll say a loading place where, like BOST, where when people go and load this product, based on the quantity of the product that they load, they are supposed to pay the specific tax component of that quantity.
Okay.
To GRA or customs. Okay. Now, but how does customs and GRA get to know that this OMC came to lift 1 million liters of fuel? This one lifted 500,000 liters. This one listed 100,000 liters. This is the one listed 50,000 liters. It is through, you know, installing systems.
Yeah.
Or having access to the data. But what happens is that mostly the OMCs who are lifting the product, they either underdeclare or under invoice, or find a way to reduce the quantity. Because if you successfully reduce the quantity of product you left, then you have effectively managed to reduce the amount of tax you will pay. Because if you left 1 million liters, and you tell GRA that, oh, I lifted only 100,000, GRA will charge you tax on 100,000, right? Meanwhile, you have lifted 1 million liters. Now, the NPA has a system which checks these things and provide them the data on how much liters, what we call Q and Q, quantity and quality specifications of this fuel. But NPA is a regulator. It collects these data for regulation purpose, to regulate the activities of the OMC. Now, there have been arguments that the job that SML is doing, NPA is doing it, which is true. But if you look at the purpose of the data collection of NPA, it's not for the purpose of revenue.
Okay.
It's for the purpose of what? Regulation. Now, the question is, customs. Does customs have the power or responsibility to also put in place an independent verification system that they can use to track how much quantities of fuel that people are lifting? That can happen, right? And that is what we believe has been outsourced to what? To SML.
Okay.
Now the question is, there are issues of procurement which I don't want to go into, because that is also another aspect of the convocation. So if we're dealing with procurement breaches, then we can look at that. If we are dealing with corruption.
Please wrap it up for me.
Oh, Kweku, I just started.
No,
I'm not even coming to the crux of the issue. I haven't even come to the KPMG matter.
So speed up for us.
Okay, so, but if you come to the crux of the corruption issue, then you would want to find out exactly what the allegations of corruption respect to this whole transaction is. That is where KPMG comes in.
Okay.
So the investigation of KPMG was to tell us whether there was some underdealings, there was some corruption associated with the SML contract. As we speak, we don't have the report. We only have what the presidency have told us. Can we get the report to know whether indeed SML had breached any law in the country, whether SML has violated, any public procurement laws, whether, in respect of the job done, SML didn't deserve any payment, there wasn't value for money on the contract. All these things will be told. But as we speak, we don't have access to the report. Okay. So what do? We wait. But for KPMG, if indeed it is true that KPMG had dealings with GRA and they were selected to do this audit, then clearly it's a conflict of interest. That one, no doubt about that. But the question is, as we speak, we have not been able to show or to see or based on the report to confirm the specific allegations of corruption against the SML contract.
Okay.
So, and that's why we are asking for the report.
Yeah.
The specific allegations of corruption. We need to see.
Okay.
Then we can interrogate it. Then we can give it to the appropriate agencies to investigate.
Okay, fair enough.
Yes, I think as we speak, the deal has been suspended. I think that is not enough. Like I still keep cautioning Ghanaians, all of us, that the Japan deal is suspended, not cancelled. When we see all these things, we should call for the cancellation.
Yeah.
With rapid speed, gross alacrity. Okay. Let's call for the cancellation of that deal. The mess and the mass dissipation of our national resource is getting too much. We are not learning as a country. We've been here before. Go and look into the history of Ghana. We've been here. The state grabbing, that state capture, that hold of the neck of the state by the greedy few. We've been there before, and we paid a price for it. I wonder what Rawlings will be doing in his grave. You know, I mean, when people put their lives on the line, just so we get somewhere here, they were not saints. They were not sacrosanct. But these were lessons we should have learnt. That, you know, but I mean, at the end of the day, you wonder how we learn. That's even if we learn. What are the issues? KPMG handling the matter when they had jobs and contracts already from the Ministry of Finance and the GRA. People who will be answerable to this process was enough reason why you should not have given them the job.
Yeah.
That conflict of interest.
Yeah.
We play with conflict of interest in this country too much.
We do.
And it's been hurting us, but we pretend we don't know. The process of selecting KPMG was not, a competitive process. That's even if you had to even forego the fact that they had issues of conflict of interest and even go by involving or allowing them to even be part of a process. It should have been a competitive process, not just a one-man call.
Yeah.
Now, ironically, they were engaged to go and audit. Is it a joke? You didn't follow processes, due processes, and they were supposed to go and audit somebody. This is a respected audit firm. We can't take it away from them. Yeah. But look at the action. They have been selected by a process that is foul to go and audit people who they are even working for already. I mean, so the whole thing was murky. Look, you look at that illegal side of it, it makes it so worrisome. Then you move on. The Auditor General, by the Constitution's own provisions, Clause 8, okay, of Article 187, provides for the Auditor General to perform such a function. Now, what is the way forward? We've discussed. My brother has said a lot. You've also contributed. Let's cancel the contract under the procurement breaches alone. If I'm not a lawyer, but if we have all the difficulties in cancelling it, the last one that can help us is the fact that we didn't go through, the due process. So let's cancel it.
In selecting
them. So let's cancel it. The conflict of interest can also follow, but the first one at all should be that one. Next one, let's engage the Auditor General's Department and the Auditor General to do this job, since the Constitution has made provision of healing ourselves. The Constitution, the crafters of our Constitution saw all these mess tomorrow. These are wonderful judges, smart people. Justice D.F. Hanan and co. Wonderful, smart people. Sat down and saw that, look, tomorrow, not today alone, but tomorrow. If there are saints today, there might be thieves tomorrow. Yeah. So they put all these clauses there. Look, we've lost about 1 billion Ghana cedis. Now let me do this thing that I like people to know. 1 billion, actually, that we've lost, as you can see, it's equivalent to about some 500 schools. If we were building the schools at 2 million Ghana cedis. I'm repeating it. Wow. That's about 500 schools gone down the drain. And it means that a child will now have access to a JHS where she or he terminates primary school. Majority of the schools in Ghana, primary schools, do not have JHS. So you school here for primary school, you have to travel to the next village this time when you are going to the JHS. And that is the problem. In the heart of the city of Accra, some of us attended Osu Home School. And then now they have to make provisions to give us a JHS across at Malidada. So yesterday, and still it's ongoing. We are not learning. We are not smart people. It is a thinking problem. You throw away this huge amount of money, and tomorrow you'll be at IMF begging. You have thrown away 500 schools. And so children will not be on boats crossing the lake from one side to the other and have boat accidents. Something Bright Appiah's senior brother, Alfred Appiah, was taking government to court many years ago, in 2004, rocking the boat with government, calling for government to pay for such losses. Today we are sitting here discussing the same problem. How many years on? That is the shame of this country. Finally, we need to investigate all the state officials involved in this process. What happened to the public procurement board? What were they doing? What happened? If for nothing at all, while talking about this one, we should remember the Wayome case. Wayome could not have moved machines to the stadium if there was no government official involved. But when it came to the issues, what did we do? They hanged him alone. And we left the state officials who did us in. But the good thing is that my joy is we recoup the monies from Wyoming. When such happens, like the issues of PDS, Japan, and the rest,
you must find the money.
let people know, and I'll use my left hand in anger, let people know that there will be a day of reckoning. Crime has no expiry date. Me, I'm nobody. I'm saying the day will go to that level where we have to recoup the money. Those of the people who are basked to come and make noise that they are defending a thief, they are the ones I'll face. Because you know why I'll face them? Not because I'm not law abiding. I'm facing them because they are justifying the reason 13 people died at Kolebu. Because we didn't have the machines, the dialysis machines. Do you know how many dialysis machines that this amount of money, it could have solved our dialysis machine problems all over the 16 regions of Ghana.
Yeah.
We could have had dialysis centers all over Ghana with this huge amount of 1 billion Ghana cedis. You see, when you pick one issue, just look at what that issue can do for Ghana.
Yeah.
1 billion could have built us 500 schools. That's what money we've poured away.
Please, let's... Okay.
Kwaku,
Yes.
just quickly, I have a video here where President Akufo-Addo is in a Jesu campaigning for tomorrow's by-elections. And he has a power plant, a mini plant generator in an ECG pickup following him.
What's your point?
Following him for their rally.
Yeah.
Kwaku, so Ghanaians should sleep in darkness and endure the heat and the pain in the absence of a timetable and everything, all the disrespect. But they will use ECG pickup to carry a plant, and go and use it to campaign for vote in a by-election. Kwaku, we are not angry in this country.
All right.
We are not angry at all in this country.
We're going to